Lord, give me the strength. I honestly don't know why I'm shocked by this, but at the same time, I'm just so amazed that this is even reality. I think this is evidence that society at large is going off the deep end at a rather accelerated rate. I read an article from this week that perfectly shows why I'm a centrist. I will just use this as an example why I don't take sides, why I am perfectly happy being in the middle, and why I am happy to criticize both sides. The article in question is a gaming article. I'm going to have a link to it as well, but I'm going to be describing a paragraph within it and sort of going point by point while in it to show why I think it's so stupid. The article is from The Guardian. It's labeled under The Far Right Opinion, and the title is How Video Games Are Fueling the Rise of the Far Right. Subheading, Violent, Isolationist, and Misogynist Desires Course Through Games and Push Right-Wing Ideologies on Players. You can already see the problem, right? I would imagine anyone who has half a brain cell can see what the issue is here. Now, this author, if it wasn't obvious, leans pretty heavy left. And this paragraph not only shows that, it makes me question if they have the capacity to think. And as I said, I'm going to be going point by point through this. So this is going to be a few minutes of this. First, right-wing ideologies have been overrepresented and dominant throughout the history of video games. I like that anyone can actually think that. That kind of shows to me that you are so far left that anything right of Mao is a Nazi or right-wing. How, in a medium that is largely left-leaning and has been for a long-ass time, it's not my opinion, that is fact. How is it that then you can see that it is, oh, it's always been right-wing and it's been catering to right-wing people? Strap in, folks. You're in for a wild ride. Although affected by context, so that is a prefix to, oh yeah, I know that in context these make perfect sense and they are explained away, but I'm going to ignore that to prove my point. Congratulations, you just disproved your own point with that one sentence right there. Are you out of your fucking mind? You have to ignore context to even prove your point to begin with. If you're doing that, you basically disproved your point. Jesus. Although affected by context, video games have long focused on, here we go, the expulsion of aliens, Space Invaders to XCOM. Yes. A left-leaning author just compared, or just said that aliens, you know, take me to your leader, I will probe you, aliens in video games are comparable to illegal aliens in real life. Yep. How is this not right-wing? How is this not... You would expect this from someone like Alex Jones, for fuck's sake, not from someone on the left. And it's not, oh, well, he's just talking about recent games. He gives Space Invaders as an example. Space Invaders, you know, the thing from the fucking 70s. Fear of impure infection, Half-Life to The Last of Us. Healthcare is a right-wing issue now? What? Fear of impure imperfection. What? Are you trying to say, when you say impure infection, are you saying, like, white people dating black people? That's the only context I can think of for how this is bad in the eyes of right-leaning people. Because, as far as I'm aware, disease is bad in everyone's eyes. I don't know how to take that. Honestly, I don't. Border Control, Missile Commander to Plants vs. Zombies. That's right. Plants vs. Zombies is about border control. That tower defense game with the cute cartoony visuals, that was about keeping the Mexicans out and building a wall. Reminder again, this was written by a guy on the left, not the right. Territory acquisition, Command and Conquer to Splatoon. Splatoon! Command and Conquer, I get. Territory acquisition, you could have listed a myriad of games, and that I understand. Splatoon? What? Yeah, I get the point of Splatoon is to cover the map in your team's color, but territorial acquisition? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm also of the impression that this is a person that not only is on the left, but somehow is giving these right opinions. This is a person that doesn't play video games. I mean, it's obvious by the contempt this author has for video games, but I'm pretty sure that this author has never picked up a controller in their life. Empire building, Civilization to Tropico. Again, I find it hilarious. Those both fit. I'm not arguing that point. I find it hilarious that they picked Tropico as the one that they chose. Tropico, you know, the one where you play Castro or can play a close approximation to Castro. That's kind of hilarious to me. This author cannot pick the correct games to prove their point. They keep picking the wrong one every single time, even if it's in a subject that I could see how it fits. It's kind of, it would be hilarious if it wasn't so upsetting. Princess Recovery, Mario to Zelda. Thank you, Anita Sarkeesian. Who, by the way, a little side thing. Last week, when Trump had his meeting with the gaming executives, Anita Sarkeesian sent out a tweet saying Trump is just using the video game industry as a scapegoat. I believe I said this last week as well, but again, it amazes me the levels of irony. The fact that the universe didn't implode from that tweet, I found amazing. How can you say that when you yourself have been scapegoating the video game industry for all the ills of mankind for the last 5 fucking years? It's, again, it would be hilarious if it wasn't so fucking upsetting and disturbing. And restoration of natural harmony. Sonic to Farmville. What? Restoration of natural harmony. As in preserving the planet and getting back to nature? Again, maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but that is a left issue, not a right issue. And I know I'm doing that backwards because camera fingers. How do you explain that being a right-wing issue? Stereotypically, right-wing people hate the environment. It's the left-wing people that are the hippie tree huggers. Again, stereotypically. That article is just all over the place. And feel free to read that. Again, I'm going to have a link to it. I want you to read it. I want you to see that I'm not bullshitting here. That article is just all over the place. It makes no sense if you have 5 seconds to think about it. And it makes me question why they even bothered to write it if they are just being so stupid about it. I get that it's a pure emotional thing. But you need to have some logic behind your emotion. And when you do this, when you are on one side, but then you end up sounding like the exact other, you're proving the horseshoe theory. Again, this is why I am a centrist. Because if you go so far in one direction, you loop back around into the other. You end up sounding... This person who is extremely on the left sounds like Jack Thompson on the right. It's articles like this, and it's not an isolated thing either. Hell, just yesterday, there was an article from Kotaku by Nathan Grayson, of all people. Why haven't they fired him yet? I'm not calling for a company to fire someone. I'm saying from any sort of sanity perspective, why does Kotaku hold on to a person that is going to destroy them? An article from Nathan Grayson said that because Overwatch had become so nice, he felt anxious and nervous. That's right. The video game media, who has been demanding that all of these multiplayer online games ban everyone who could even be possibly seen as mean, are now upset that they are left with nice people. I don't even need to explain anything in that. So these kind of articles that just blow my mind, that sound like it's from one side, but it's from the other, again, horseshoe theory, they keep popping up. The one that I went into detail on is just the biggest example and the easiest to explain because they did a nice little bullet point for me. There needs to be some kind of therapy or help or something because this is getting downright insane. We have polarized everything and positions flop so often that they're basically, it's just a matter of whose turn is it to hate video games? Okay, it's the left's turn now? Alright, let's go with that. Or vice versa. Fill in whatever group you hate at the moment. I've said this a couple times now, but again, this is why I am a centrist. This is why I take no side. This is why I have no horse in any race. Because this is what zealotry and extremism does to you. It makes it so that you stand for nothing except for what the other guy hates. That's not healthy. It really isn't. And you need to stop and get some help, if that is the way you think. This has been Math Machine, just saying, come join us in the center. We have punch and pie. You'll love it. Peace out.